Hi, my name is Nikita Coulombe, and today I'd like to share with you one way to create a batik effect on canvas with oil paint. Unlike traditional batik methods where you would first apply wax to a piece of fabric, submerge the fabric in color dye, let it dry, and then remove the wax with heat such as an iron, with this method you would first apply paint to the surface of the canvas, pour on wax while the paint is still wet, letting it dry, and then removing the wax to reveal a white surface underneath. Here I'm working on a painting called Liftoff, and what you're looking at is right after I removed the wax off of the painting. And so it had probably been sitting for about 3 to 5 days while I was letting both the paint and the wax dry. During this time, the wax absorbed the oil paint. I've experimented with a few different mediums, and it doesn't matter if you're using water-soluble oils or regular traditional oil paints. The effect will be the same. The wax will pick up the paint. After I removed the wax from the painting, I hung it back up on the wall and I applied more paint to the canvas. I made some areas darker, left some areas white, and did a combination of adding more wax, taking it off, adding more paint, and of course letting everything dry in between, so that I could get really interesting layers of color. And I'm actually only using one color in this painting, ultramarine blue. So this is how Liftoff turned out. And now I'll walk you through the materials that I use, so if you want to try this at home, you can. I'll add the links to the description of the video so that you can purchase them directly. This is the wax melter, and it's pretty easy to use. You just plug it in when you want it on, and then you unplug it when you want it off. It's got 10 aluminum cups, and I will fill them with soy wax flakes, and that's what I'll use to distribute wax across the canvas. The soy wax takes about 10 minutes to melt. I like using this wax because it's inexpensive and it's easy to remove with a palette knife. Other waxes, like paraffin or beeswax, they tend to stick a little bit more to the canvas, and that might be okay if you want wax left over on the surface, but I like to remove it all, so I stick to the soy wax. You can see here how I'm pouring wax onto the canvas with the little aluminum cups. This definitely is not the only way to do this. I'm trying to create splashes, and that's why I'm using a greater amount of wax. If you want more specific lines, you can use the Batik pens, and I'll add a link to that below. You can even use candles if you want perfect little circles dropped onto your canvas. One thing I've tried that's a little different and also can create interesting effects is using layers of acrylic paint underneath the layers of oil paint. So here you can see I'm using a layer of beige and then black acrylic paint. I'm then applying black oil paint on top of that, and then I'm dripping candle wax on top of all of it, and the candle wax will only pick up the oil paint. I want to share with you a couple of other paintings I've done that utilize different variations of this technique. What you're looking at here is Whispers 1, and I've only used black paint, but I've used different kinds of black paint. So there's black acrylic paint and black oil paint. You always want to put acrylic paint underneath your oil paint. So I'll put the acrylic down first, and then I add layers of black oil paint, put wax on, take the wax off, put more oil paint on, take the oil paint off with wax. And this painting is called Portal 10, and I just did variations of acrylic and oil again in here with wax on, wax off, and as you can see, I'm blending black, purple, and blue all together to kind of create an ocean effect. So I think this covers most of the basics. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and I hope I have the answer. I discovered this through trial and error. And I'm sure if you play around a little bit, you will discover your own methods and something that complements your way of working. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and let me know if you try it, how your results turned out.